So this is one of the surprises that I made for Va, and this is an altered mirror, one of those mirrors that you get from the dollar store. I love altering these. They come in silver, and what I do is I just, go over it with some vintage white, the folk art vintage white, and to give it a more less shiny look. And this one, I use this absolutely stunning image. Look at how beautiful these girls are. And there's a turkey here in one of those, oh my gosh, I can't think of what it is. Yeah, I can't think of it. Peacock. Isn't it beautiful? And they're very tattered and long, pieces of clothing. They just look like goddesses. I love this image so, so, so much. Very, very beautiful. So now for this one here, I started with this here, which was a doily, and it's very floppy. So I did have to cut it down because it was large. And then I used this beautiful doily here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I took to the avocado dye beautifully. And then I have this trim here, the little eyelet trim. And then I have this going all the way around here. Very beautiful. I hope you love that, Va. I know how you love that, what is that called? Gosh, I'm lost for words today. It'll come to me. Tatting. So I also dyed that. And then over here, I just used some appliques to create this, flower piece here. And then I have these going up, as if they're leaves. And then I put another fabric covered button there. Very pretty. And then I have all kinds of dangles here. I think there's 3 or 4 different kinds. There's this one here, and there's these 2 here. There's 2 different ones here. And then there's this one here. You can probably see it from this side better. That one there. Isn't that so beautiful? So vintage looking. So tattered. So pretty. I love it. So that is the back of the mirror. I absolutely love how this turned out, and I've been having so much fun, working with like the vintage colors. And then down here I made a little flower with a couple of different doilies, or like appliques, and then I put another one of those fabric covered buttons there. See how pretty this is? You would never know. It's like plastic. It's just beautiful. All right, now this is going to give a glare, so I'm kind of going to, do it like this. I kind of mimicked the flower on the other side. I didn't want to put too much here because it would make it big and bulky when, she placed it down. So I did another flower here on the handle. And then here's a piece of trim there. Very pretty. And then going around, sorry about that, I have this eyelet trim here, and then this beautiful lace here, and then this one going on top. Maybe I should cover that. There, then you can see my grungy nails. So see how beautiful that came out? So pretty. I love all the layers. Love, love, love them. And then the flower. So pretty. So, so pretty. So that is coming your way too, Va. Very beautiful. And then the next thing is this gorgeous angel that I made. Isn't she pretty? I had picked up these, I can't remember what they're called, but they're kind of like for tiebacks, and they're, these long dangly things, and it was in the white. So I just covered it with some cream, and then I added this beautiful trim here. So it gave that nice full look with 3 different colors in there. And then on the front, I added this beautiful cherub, and I did paint her in that vintage white color, because she was pure white. And then I added this flower and bling in the center here, and then just tons of flowers going around. This one here and this flower here were pure white. Oh, and this one were pure white. And I just dipped those in my avocado dye, and they came out beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. I love them. And then these are just wild orchid craft flowers. All of them. There's little tulips here. These, I'm not really sure what those are called, but those are so beautiful. But yeah, those are all wild orchid craft flowers. This one I had, you know, taken apart and put the middle here because I needed a little bit something smaller there. Okay, then I added these pretty feathers all around and these little green squiggly type things. Okay, and then just on the back, you know, to hide the glue and stuff, I just added those two flowers. So that is that one. Very pretty. I hope you can put her in a nice home in your room, Va. She's so pretty. I loved creating her. And I'm going to go on to the second part of my video to share with you the two other projects that I made for Va. I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, so this is the third surprise that I made, and this is a vintage collage wall hanging. And I had thought to myself, oh geez, you know, I should have made Va a card. So I took this image here, and I was gonna, you know, work with her, and then one thing led to another with the different vintage laces, and it became a wall hanging. So I kind of thought that was better anyway, because I have, you know, cards and I really don't know what to do with them, but this she can display on her wall, so it's a good thing that it went into a different direction. So first of all, for the back, I used this here, and I think I got this from Michelle Pipeling, and it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's vintage, I'm not sure. So I used that as the backing. Very, very pretty. And then I just added layers of, you know, different snippets of, most of these are vintage doilies and laces and stuff. So I took the photo and put it in the middle, and then just framed her with different trims here, and then added buttons. So that was that. And then behind her, there's a doily that runs from here to here, this one here, and then there's this one here that runs from here down to here. I mean, you can only see, you know, little snippets of it, but I love the look of that. And then I ran this beautiful trim here. This I've had for many, many years, and I've been waiting for the perfect project to use it on, because it's so vintage. You know, the coloring in it. This is how it came to me. It's just so beautiful. I don't know if somebody else, you know, dyed it or whatever, but that's how I got it. So, okay, going on here. I have a doily behind her here, and I cut it in half and put the other side over here. And then I had this, I'm not sure what these are called, but it's like a little ring in it, and it has, you know, crocheting around it. So I just added that, and then added this doily here. It's just like a snippet of a doily. So I added that. And then up here is a flower made of all doilies. So pretty. I put a button in the middle. And like I said, I added this here. And then at the top I have this beautiful vintage doily here. Going across. And then I put it through this mother of pearl buckle type thing. And I know Va loves mother of pearl. And this here I had in my stash. Maggie had given this to me a long time ago. And I never wanted to use it because it was a gift from her. But this was like the perfect project. And it was kind of a different color. It was white with black. And so I added some of that vintage white and then some gold rub-and buff. So it gave it more of a vintagey look. So that's that. Here, I'll give you a close-up of all the little pieces. See, isn't that so cool? And then these here, these pieces, as you can see, they're off, you know, like her picture ends here, but I have this going this way, and then this one, you know, going even further. That's just, you know, the vintage look of, you know, how things were made, you know, years ago. So I just went with that. And then this here, this doily here, or actually it was the edge of a doily, I put the rest of it here. So it goes from here and dangles down and comes up to here. I don't know if you can see that. And then I just put 3 buttons going up there. Some of them, actually all of these have the thread still in them. And then this beautiful mother of pearl button in the center of that one. And then underneath, here's that doily. I just have different vintage lace trims. And then this awesome trim here, which I don't think for a minute that it's vintage. I think I got this from Michelle as well, but I thought it looked so good, you know, on the bottom as a dangle. Look at, see, I'm dangling it. So that goes on the bottom. So when it hangs, you know, it's nice and dangly down there. And then with the bow, and I added in back of the bow just more vintage laces, this one and this one here. Actually, I think this is trim from a fabric. So that's that. And that is the entire wall hanging. I absolutely love how this turned out. I love, love, love it so very, very much. I hope you love it too. If not, send it right back, because I do love it. So, happy birthday. I do have one more project to share with you, but it's huge, and I think I'm going to have to do that one in the living room. So, I will be back. Take care. Bye-bye.